Welcome to Suite 301. I am your host, Christian Smith. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode. We are officially live on Facebook. You can now watch all of our broadcasts on our Suite 301 page in our Facebook group pages. Also, remember to follow our group, Facebook group, and Twitter for the latest news. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Call Club Sports. That's C-O-L-L, Club Sports, for videos from around our leagues and also to watch previous episodes of Suite 301. We are going to get started, as we always do, with our softball talk, and we are going to get Savannah on the line once I make this call. That might take some time. And 0. Probably shouldn't say her number. Oh. I believe Savannah is in Georgia. She's in the. Hello, Savannah.
Hey.
Welcome to Suite 301.
Thank you much.
Where are you?
On an airplane.
You're on the airplane right now?
Yeah, our plane actually missed the runway, so we just landed.
Okay. All right. Well,
Crazy.
I'm glad you're safe.
It's exciting.
We will
I
we'll,
know.
we'll keep this short. I don't want you to violate any FAA regulations or anything
Don't
like
worry.
that. So
I've been talking to all the people around me about about what's going on in the NCSA. So
great.
About it too.
Well, obviously big weekend coming up with the playoffs. I believe
Huge.
I've seen
Yeah.
everybody clinching. I believe they're all set, correct, with teams and everything?
Yep, all 7 regionals are all set, 4 teams apiece. And
Okay.
we've actually clinched our 2 World Series winners from the Pacific as well. San Diego State, who's a first-year team, is going to be coming out of the Pacific South, going to the World Series for their first time ever, and then UC Davis is coming out of the Central. So
Nice.
we'll get to find out the 14 teams that join them within a matter of days.
Okay. And are there any...
Crazy that it all happens so quickly.
Yeah, it does. It goes so fast. Besides, I believe you said San Diego State, any other surprises going to regionals that, maybe a first-year program or something like that?
Yeah, a couple of those, actually. This is SUNY Buffalo's first year in the league, and they clinched the New England West Conference. Super exciting for them. And then Syracuse has been in the league a while, but this is going to be their first postseason appearance, so we're really excited for them as well, along with Purdue.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck. I won't even mention what you think I'm going to mention. So, hope everything goes to plan. And yeah, you get all your World Series teams after this weekend.
I can't wait to announce it all.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
we're excited to hear. Pools. Let's talk about pools. When's the next one come out? Any surprises there?
It just came out last week, and a lot of it stayed the same. Navy at 1, Arkansas stayed at 2. The two big surprises were not necessarily surprises, but Florida and Wisconsin jumping into that top 20.
Okay.
Rightfully so, because they both point spots in the playoffs. So.
Okay. What about any World Series updates? Anything going on down in Columbus that
Just
teams
those
need to
two
know about?
Teams that clinched, but after this weekend, booking those hotels will be key. If you want to get into a specific one, they go quickly, as teams that have come down before know. So
I'd recommend the Marriott. I don't know if that's still a host hotel, but
yeah, it is.
I would certainly recommend that to those teams. All right, and I know I think on Facebook a couple new teams have joined the NCSA for next season. Can you go through those?
Yeah, we've got 6 new teams.
Wow,
signed on already.
that's great.
So Tennessee, out of UC Knoxville, UW Milwaukee. Now my mind's blanking. Why? These are like
They're on Facebook, right?
Yes, they've all been announced on social media.
Yeah. So
and we have extended that deadline for the next few days. So new teams out there that I've been talking to, please make sure you get that paperwork in ASAP, because we've got a whole other slew of teams that are interested in coming on board. Who knows by this time next month how many we'll have. So.
Well, that's great. 6 is a great number this early on, so good job there. And Do you have anything else softball related that any housekeeping items or anything like that you need to get the teams aware of?
Just, the LPA will be out later this week, the renewal LPA.
Okay.
So if you're, a team officer, please keep an eye out for that.
Sounds good. All right, Savannah, good luck on your travels. Hopefully everything works out well, and we will talk to you soon, okay?
Great, thank you.
See ya. Well, yeah, softball playoffs start this weekend, so that's going to be an exciting time for that. So make sure to, stay tuned on the Facebook page, softball Facebook page, to see how results are coming out for that. But, yeah, exciting to hear the next teams coming to Columbus for the 2018 NCSA World Series. And now, Tracy Reardon to talk spring training showcase. Welcome to the set. And also welcome back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the last time I had this conversation with you, I was
were you down in
Tampa?
Yeah, I guess you were. Yeah, you got back from everything I heard. Everything went well. Weather kind of was awesome.
Held out.
Yeah, you got all the games in, and that's the important part.
Every single game was played.
That's awesome.
So it's great that we don't have teams that, are expecting to play 4 or 5 games, and because of stuff out of our control, they can't. So.
Yes. So give us, talk to us about it. I mean, how did things go? I know this was your first time running the event as the director, but how did it go? Did teams have fun? Anything cool happen? Give us kind of a rundown of the East and West.
Yeah, so this is my first year as director. Last year I was assistant, so I was just actually talking to Sandy about it yesterday, how it's kind of a different scope when you're the one delegating as taking direction. So, but I mean, Eric came down, Garrett came down, Alex and Joe were my 2 assistants throughout, and then Alex was shipped out west to host the West Coast spring training. But I mean, the teams, staple teams that come down every year are, it's always their team bonding before getting into postseason and the final games of their conference for the spring. So I think, those ones who plan for it every year, it's almost, muscle memory at this point, and it's something that they all look forward to. But I mean, Pitt State, I think this is their 3rd year as a club, something about that, and their first time coming down to spring training, and they played 3 games, but I think they wanted to just kind of test the waters and see what kind of competition and how it all played out, and they basically told me as soon as they were packing up to leave that they want to
Giving
come
you
back
the
down.
paperwork for next year. Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's, retention is a big thing that, we talk about, and retaining those teams. And I think spring training, at least, that's one of our events where we do see that high retention rate, because once teams come down, they love the experience and they want to come back every year. So it's also like we got another one.
Turning of leadership. Like I was just telling Rachel earlier, Brady, the president of Kansas, he's been the president the past 2 years, and he said before he was president, he didn't even know that our spring training was a thing. So when he found out about it, he was like, we need to take advantage of this. And, he said it's paid off for them just with the cohesiveness of their team and being able to get to know one another besides practice twice a week or 3 times a week, whatever.
I mean, it's extremely, especially for the teams up north where these spring training games are probably their first games of the year.
Right.
Outside. Seeing first live pitching of the year. They're not together a lot when they're away from, not at the event. So it's a whole team bonding. You're getting to play baseball. There's really no negatives whatsoever to going down.
You get your 3 non-conference games in.
Knock those out.
All in 1 week.
Yeah. So it's just a win-win for all teams that involved. So I mean, I think we would tell anybody that if you're interested, I know we had some teams, on the fence. It's certainly something that you should take advantage of. And I do know about the GoPro. Almost wanted to call it an iPhone again. But the GoPro, you have some, we talk about that a little bit.
So this year we decided to we have a company GoPro and hand it off to 2 teams that come down, I think, almost every year since their coaching staff has been a part of the team.
I've known Jamie O'Meara for, he's probably watching, since I first started, which that was almost 12 years ago. So I was been coming down every year since I've been involved in.
And then I guess Pitt same thing.
Kind of, yeah, same.
So we gave those two teams the opportunity to use our GoPro and kind of film a day in the life or a week in the life of a team that heads down to spring training, just so that any teams out there who are interested in coming down don't really know what to expect, or, you think that it's just going to be baseball the whole time. But, I mean, Pitt went on a gator watching canoe type trip, so they did
fan boats or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, water, air, something like that.
We'll figure that out later.
And then just kind of getting the behind the scenes look at it is baseball, but it's also fun, and kind of just the different points of view of a coach wearing it, or catcher and warm ups and that kind of thing. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be putting together a little highlight reel of some of that stuff. So hopefully it entices some of those teams who are on the fence to take the plunge next year and
it's
go
all
for
tailored.
it.
I mean, it's all tailored to how you want to structure. It's
Right.
your spring break.
Right.
If you want to play 8 games and be very serious, and you
Right.
can do that. But if you want to play 3 games and party the entire time, you can do that too. I mean, so it's really tailored to
Right.
how you want to spend your spring break. So it's a great thing for teams to take advantage of. And
Right.
I mean, I think I heard you and Rachel previewing a little bit of that footage. I didn't hear any gasps or anything.
No.
So I'm, I guess it's yet to be seen if there's any footage that
It'll
we'll
be
have
interesting.
to delete out.
Yeah.
But that'll be something nice for teams to kind of get an idea.
Right.
And with Iowa and Pitt, teams that have kind of been there every year, they know what they're doing down there. So.
And I mean, those teams too, they're serious when they're playing, but they do take days off where they do, day trips to the beach and things that are for the kids for spring break.
Or major league spring training games
Right.
and things like that. Yeah.
So it's a great way to, like you said, you tailor it to how, Wisconsin does games Sunday, Monday. They take Tuesday, Wednesday off and play Thursday. So
you got to do it. You have to do it. I think we've sold you enough on it. Now, in my script, I see some fun facts. Do you have some fun facts for us?
I guess I have some scores and matchups to kind
Okay,
of
you can
go
go
over
that.
first
Okay, we can do that.
before we get
Did I
into
jump
fun
that
facts.
right?
No, I probably flipped
No,
it, but it's
no.
fine.
I messed up.
I think I said this last time, but Michigan Tech beat Iowa State 6-2. So a D3 team going up against a D1 team, and
Iowa State's a good team, too.
yeah, and it was both of their last games of the day, I'm pretty sure, but it was just to see a team like Michigan Tech get so excited that, they got that first win against a program in D1 and kind of carry that throughout the rest of the week. You can kind of tell that our divisions, right, we have D1, 2, 3, but there are teams throughout that can levelly compete with everyone. Ohio State D2 beat USF 4-2, so that was one to note. Ohio State D1 beat Iowa 13-5. Illinois beat Pitt State, but that was a close game, 7-5. Pitt State, they played 3 games, like I said, but they really did show the team that they've created over the last 3 years, and they're super structured, and they're a very, very well-run organization, so I think that, they'll be a team to watch for years to come.
I agree with you there.
And then UCF D1 beat Drexel 7-6 in a walk-off situation, and they were down 6-0 after the first inning. So
Had to hurt for Drexel.
their spring training this year was not what they were looking for, but
Hey, it matters. The games matter. I mean, especially for an at-large consideration. But at the end of the day, it's really just making your team better. You might have
absolutely.
lost, but you got some games in. You figured some things out. So
right.
it's not that big of. You lose a game, it sucks, but it's not.
And
devastating.
they lost to UCF, who was runner-up last year.
They won
So,
that series.
It's not.
They've got some quality opponents. That's good.
Absolutely. And then some of those fun facts that we were just talking about. In the East, we had 137 games played over 4 weeks, 66 of those, so almost half were within 5 days of week 2.
Sounds like long days.
We had the most teams ever in a week during week 2, which was 28. Combining both showcases, we had almost 150 games of NCBA spring training baseball played over 4 weeks. And then Pitt State, their first time coming down there. It's always exciting to have a rookie team come in and kind of immerse themselves in our spring training.
That's crazy. 150 some games. That's crazy to even think about in just a month. So, great job. I know it's they're long days and it's an entire month of being down in Florida, but it seems like your staff did well. Weather held out for you.
Yes,
and
thankfully.
things went well. So, before we know it, I'm sure you're going to be doing registration for next year. Even I know you hate me saying that.
Hotel contracts.
It's crazy that regionals and World Series are upon us. That's how quickly it happens.
Well, it's 8 months of all the prep and planning, and then the month of the event, and then it goes right back.
Yeah.
Start over again.
Exactly. So, if there's teams out there interested or have questions, make sure to reach out to Tracy. But you have anything else to add?
No, just thank you. We can't thank the teams and their families. We always have, those staple teams that come down and they bring, everyone from their aunts to their uncles to their grandparents and extended family from 8 states away. But it's the fact that we have that support that we're able to do what we do year after year. So
well put. But congratulations on a great event.
Thank you, sir. Hats
off to you and the staff, and thank you to the team. So.
Hats off.
So good job, Tracy. I think we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back to talk NCBA, which stands for National Club Baseball Association.
The game is the official headwear sponsor of Cole Club Sports. They offer an early order discount to all of our leagues on top of their already low prices. Go to thegameheadwear.com and check out their wide selection of on-the-field hats, off-the-field beanies, and visors. Contact Felicia Battaglia at coleclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Avis is the proud rental car partner of Cole Club Sports. From compact cars to 15-passenger vans, Avis has it all. Teams and players receive exclusive pricing and the waiver of the 25 or younger driver fee. For more information on how to reserve your vehicles, contact Alex Kane today. alex.kane@coleclubsports.com.
And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. As you will see, I have Eric Curator on the set with me. We're going to be talking what?
A little baseball.
NCBA baseball. We're right into the thick of it. This is the grind.
Yeah.
You can either embrace it or you could just go in a corner and cry.
I think both's going to happen.
Thank you for being on. We're going to talk D2, obviously, yep. D3, get some D3 updates. So let's start, I guess, with D2. We got regional playoffs.
Let's start with D3 first.
You want to start? Okay, let's.
D2 is going to be a little longer. But that's fine.
No, I'm good. Kidding.
So D3, speaking on behalf of Alex Kane, Director of Division 3 Operations, we have 4 teams who've clinched. Adrian College, University of New Hampshire.
Adrian College, a first-year team, right?
First-year
Congrats.
Team. University of New Hampshire, first-year
team. Congrats.
Central Virginia Community College, second-year team.
Okay.
Former D2 team.
All right.
Still congrats. And then Newman, who was in D2 last year, D3 this year.
Nice.
Embraced it a little bit, and I guess they clinched their conference. So congrats to those 4 teams.
Absolutely. I know it's not to interrupt, but, D3, I think, a lot of these teams kind of like, what's this D3 about? Mm-hmm. But Alex secured an amazing World Series venue for whoever wins these regionals, or these district playoffs. So it'll be a treat for these teams that make that tournament. So good job, congratulations to those 4 teams.
It's exciting. All that stuff can be found on the website too. Locations, the whole procedure,
how they
the
host,
playoffs, everything of that nature will be online. So go ahead and check that out. But quick congrats to those 4 teams.
Okay. Now D2, you want to talk some D2 stuff?
D2, our regional playoffs are next weekend. So, weather permitting, they'll be next weekend. But we've had some teams clinch.
Okay.
Just go one by one, I guess. Chesapeake region, we've had Temple and Salisbury clinch. Dixie region, South Florida, we're going to talk to Brian Rosenberg in a little bit, the president of the team. Great American region, Truman State and Pitt State. Pitt State, Tracy referenced earlier, very good team, very good squad. New England region, SUNY Binghamton and Fordham. The new Penn is Cal PA, who clinched in the fall. Pacific region, Cal State Northridge, San Jose State, and San Diego State. And then lastly, the Rocky Lone Star, Air Force, Metro State, and Houston Community College. So, by my count, we have 14 of the 24 conference winners.
Okay.
And then you obviously got to add the 8 merge bids.
Okay.
That'll be decided on Sunday. So,
We're
getting there.
You are getting there. All right.
We're getting there.
Obviously, all the sites are locked up, and if teams, I'm sure teams that have clinched understand where they're going. But yeah, all that information is also on the
correct. Yeah, everything's
website.
Online. Just hit that postseason tab, click regional playoffs. Everything from locations to addresses to teams that have clinched to brackets when the time comes will be posted up on there.
Cool. Well, let's talk. You got your pool out. D2 polls. Last one came out last Thursday.
Correct.
Any surprises?
The big jumps. Houston Community College went from not ranked to 10th.
Wow.
They clinched. They swept Texas A&M Core Cadets, who have been a mainstay at the World Series the last couple of years. They've been kind of a powerhouse in Division II. So
absolutely.
Kudos to Houston Community College. And then Truman State went from not ranked to 15th. They just clinched this past weekend, but they've had a very good run of a couple of weeks here. I think they're 12-0 now. So
nice. And who we got up at the top?
Penn State. They got
State.
8 the first place votes, 8 of the 15. Cal PA is in the 2 spot with 4 first place votes. Salisbury at 3, South Dakota State at 4, and then Ohio State in the 5 spot. But yeah, I mean, a lot of baseball left to be played. Hopefully it gets played.
It's snowing here, so the weather's great.
Yeah, it's a good start for the PA teams.
Yes.
So hopefully they can get some baseball in this weekend. But yeah, be on the lookout for brackets. All the official updates from this weekend heading into the postseason, which is a week and a half away.
Yeah,
kind of
this
frightening.
Weekend, next weekend, right?
Yeah, stuck at the weather and stuff. Just getting all the anxiety out.
You're getting the anxiety out?
No, not really, but it'll be here before we know it. So, yeah. So.
All right. Well, let's. I know you talked about South Florida clinching a spot in the district playoffs, and we're going to get Brian here on the line pretty shortly to talk about. This is, I'm assuming, their first year.
This is their first year in the postseason.
Making the postseason.
They've been in the NCBA for a couple of years now, though. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Eric and Christian with the NCBA. How we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking time out of your day. We just wanted to, catch up with you guys. And first off, congratulations on making the postseason. What kind of changes have you guys made this year to get that big step in making it to the postseason after the last couple of years?
Yeah, so pretty much the last 2 years, it was like the same group of guys, and they were really all about, like, let's practice once or twice a week and go have some fun on the weekends. And this year I kind of, like, was full-time president, and I'm like, we're going to practice 4 times a week, and we're going to have fun by winning games. We're not going to be the babies of the conference anymore. So we actually practice on softball fields on our campus, the intramural softball fields, and then we have to beg a Little League to let us use their batting cages. So we got batting cages set up, and if you look at our offensive numbers compared to last year, I'm sure that's probably a big reason why we won a lot more games, but we're just a lot more committed to competing this year.
Yeah, and it certainly showed. You guys have made huge strides. I know when I saw you guys down in Tampa at the Spring Training Showcase, I was telling you guys, this year has been a complete different story from the last couple of years, and I guess that's a big testament to you. So, you guys should definitely be proud of where you've gotten, and hopefully it continues in the future. But, let's looking back a little bit on your conference schedule. Were there any turning points in the year? Any series that maybe got you guys some more confidence than others?
I'm going to say it started right away when we played UF. We were supposed to play Nova Southeastern, which is trying to be part of the NCBA next year, and they had to cancel our series. We didn't have any warm-up series. So we played UF, and we lost the first game 12-0, and we were all like, wow, we've been talking all this about how good we are, and we just got trounced. So we just really regrouped after that, and the games weren't even as close as the score showed, in my opinion, and that turned it. Like, we are as good as we've been saying we are. And then we went and took care of business. And then the FGCU games. I mean, you guys know FGCU, they ran D2 for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they lost a conference game 3 years in a row. And we beat them 2 out of 3, and it's like, wow. They better start looking out for us in Kansas this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I this is Christian. I saw that score on you guys taking 2 out of 3 from Florida Gulf Coast, and it was in our office. We talked about it quite a bit because it may have been the week prior. FGCU took 2 of 3 from UCF. University of Central Florida, which was the Division I runner-up last year. So we were really impressed. Obviously, Florida Gulf Coast and UCF's a good this year again. They're a very good, talented team. You know, for Florida Coast to take 2 out of 3 from Central Florida, and then for you guys to take 2 of 3 from Florida Gulf Coast, I mean that's a huge series for you and a huge series win. So I'm sure that was something your guys really rallied around.
That was crazy. That series, like, we're still riding off the high from that. Like, especially because, you know, D1 plays the 9-inning game on Sundays. We're not used to it. So we were up through 7 innings. And we're like, we won this game. There's 2 more, and we're like, they actually tied it in the bottom of the 8th, and then we put runs back up in the 9th to win it. That was a crazy Sunday night game.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You guys actually played UCF this past weekend, right?
We did play UCF. We lost on a walk-off game 1, lost by 2 game 2, and lost by 2 in game 3. So, I mean, that was another big thing. We've been scheduling a lot of D1 teams. I think the two teams that we played down in for the spring training, we played Ohio State, you know, top 5 in D2. We played Iowa and Kentucky, who are both, you know, top talented D1 teams. So playing higher competition, I think, is preparing us for the D2 competition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's only going to better you guys in the long run. So moving forward, you guys obviously made the regional tournament. You know, what teams are you looking forward to playing? What teams are you rooting for to see there, perhaps? If anything, do you know anything about the other conferences or anything?
So we don't know too much. We just been watching the standings. We saw this weekend when we played UCF, the D1 team. The D2 team was playing Georgia Southern at on the same field.
Correct, yep.
The games after us. So we got to see that. I think UCF and Georgia Southern are both, like, contenders to be in the wild card. I don't know if UCF might have knocked off Georgia Southern from that. But I know Georgia Southern or Tennessee in the Central, and then I think Longwood or Radford for the North.
Correct, yep.
So we've just been looking at their stats, and we feel really good. I mean, after competing with the D1 runner-up from last year, I don't feel like we're looking to play Ohio State again. That's honestly where we're at. But we're feeling super great about regionals.
Well, good. You know, as you guys, do you have the weekend off this coming weekend before regionals, or what are you guys really doing, prepping for the event?
We're going up to South Carolina, playing another D1 team.
Good for you.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit, but I mean, you know, from what I remember, USF has never really been a powerhouse in Division II, and it seems you're doing all the right things. I mean, playing D1 teams, even though you might come out with, you know, a 3-game sweep. You know, those are going to only make you better and make you better for the playoffs. So you're doing all the right things, and you know, certainly wish you luck for these regionals, and who knows, see you out in Kansas.
Oh, for sure, we'll be there.
All right, well, take that to the bank, I guess. So, all right, Brian.
I'm going to pull a Joe Namath. We'll see you.
There you go. There you go, Broadway Joe.
We appreciate the time, and like you said, I guess we'll see you in Kansas. So.
All right, Brian. Thanks so much.
All right, man.
Thanks, Eric.
All right. Well, that was Brian with USF. Had a very good year so far. They're a great Twitter follow too.
Oh yeah.
They like to.
I don't know anything
talk
about
a little bit, which is good. I like it though. They've been backing it up for the most part. So.
Well, I mean, it seems like they're playing more D1 talent or D1 teams than they are even, you know, the D2 teams. So
yeah, which is going to benefit them.
Yeah, they're going out and scheduling games, which is great, and yeah, look for them. See how they compete at regionals, and where's
Peachtree City?
Oh yeah, all right. That's where the South Atlantic is.
Yeah.
So
well,
cool.
Well, so speaking of South Atlantic and D1, let's talk D1. What's going on?
Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got. I mean, we're right in the thick of it, just like D2. We're getting games in, or trying to get games in. And I do want to say a lot of like a lot of conferences, it's just like, a lot of games are not getting played. But for the most part, all the teams are being really flexible, and some playing 6 games in a weekend, doing whatever they have to do to get as many of their conference games in. So I appreciate their flexibility there. But yeah, we're obviously still in the regular season. Our Division I regionals are May 11th through the 13th, so we got a few more weeks of regular season play left to go. But yeah, I mean, we have one team clinched, which I just found out today.
Who's it?
Florida State clinched. They're in the clubhouse at 10-2.
It's a tough conference.
It is, and Florida State kind of came out of nowhere. They were just that one team that were kind of flying under the radar, and then all of a sudden you look at the standings and they're 9-1 and 12-1 overall.
That's just contribute to the tough conference. I guess it's funny to say that Florida State came under.
Well, yeah, it's just you're expecting Central Florida, the runner-up,
Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, all those teams.
Crazy.
I mean, it is a tough conference, but yeah, they have clinched. So they will be going down to Peachtree City to play in regionals, and Tracy will be getting out information to them. We have the top 20 poll coming out. What's today? Tuesday.
Sure.
Coming out, Thursday. So excited to see how things shake out there. The previous polls, those are out online, so teams can check those out. ECU comes in at number 1. I believe they swept this past weekend App State. So I would expect them to stay in that number 1 position, but 2 through 20 could be anything.
Yep.
Yes. Lots of things going on, so make sure to stay tuned to the website. Check the standings. Scores are being updated as we speak.
Anything on the World Series front?
World Series, we're back in Holly Springs, as everybody knows. Really excited to get back down there. I'm obviously having talks with them to, get the event, as great as it was last year. And you can see, I've got my hat. I got we have our souvenir hats up here. We got the national champion for D1 this year. We'll be taking these home, and I believe that's the Division II national champion. We'll be taking those home. We got souvenir hats. So, yeah, lots of things going on. Lots of prep, obviously, as you know, going on for the World Series. All the regionals are set. Again, go to the website, postseason tab on the website to get all the updates there. So just stay tuned. I guess the biggest thing is make sure to check the website regularly.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing you can do.
Yeah, so
absolutely. So
lots going on.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the NCBA portion. I guess we'll be right back with some NCBBA talk.
Rawlings is proud to be partnered with Call Club Sports. If your team is in need of any products that Rawlings has to offer, contact us today. Rawlings, the finest in the field.
Wilson is proud to be partnered with Cole Club Sports. Whether it be footballs, basketballs, or baseball bats from Dee Marini and Louisville Slugger, Wilson has it all. If your team has any needs for Wilson products, contact us today.
All right, welcome back. I'm Sandy Sanderson, president of a bunch of stuff, but hey, we're here to talk about National Club Basketball Association at the moment, and hey, we crowned the national champion since we last came on the show.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I mean, it was last we were talking regionals. Obviously, we had 8 teams come to the national championship, so the regionals obviously happened. How'd those go?
They went they went well. There were a lot of surprises.
It almost sounded like you were about to say they went well, surprisingly.
Well, I want to say they went well. However, for a lot of teams, I would say they didn't go well, because we had a number of upsets. As you may know, one of the things we do a little different in the NCBBA is you guys talked about regionals and softball regionals and baseball regionals and neutral sites, and we host the event. Well, in basketball, the highest-ranked team participating in the regional gets to host it, so it's on their campus. So surprisingly, we had a number of teams that top seeded, got the host home court advantage, so to speak, and got upset and eliminated from the postseason play on their own court. So, but let's talk about a little bit. New England Harvard hosted, took care of Holy Cross. Boston College was the at-large bid. They knocked off Fairfield. And then BC and Harvard went head-to-head again. Harvard came out on top 80-52, punched Harvard's first ticket to the national championship. So, Harvard really took care of business on their own court. Moving over to the North Atlantic, though, that's where the first, shocker sort of came about. Syracuse was the host, spent most of the season ranked number 1 in the country. Opening round, they took care of Binghamton, no problem. Ithaca, the number 2 team from the North. I was expecting WVU to make a big run, potentially get to the national championship. Ithaca comes out, upsets WVU, the number 1 team from the South. And then Ithaca comes around and knocks off Syracuse on court.
Wow.
So to, get, revenge for the regular season, but also punch Ithaca's first ticket to the national championship. So that was pretty exciting there for them. Getting into the Mid-Atlantic, Princeton was the host, took care of business in the opening round against St. Joe's. St. John's was the at-large bid in there, and St. John's has been a big, strong program. They went to the national championship last year, really well put-together team. Towson comes in, not a team we normally think of as a postseason winner, a team that's going to do damage in the postseason. They came out, stuck at the St. John's 61-51, but then Princeton on Towson in the regional title game, so Princeton went to the national title. South Atlantic, opening round, South Carolina was an at-large bid to that. Opening round at Coastal. Coastal's hosting the event. South Carolina knocks them off 58-57.
Wow.
Tight ball game. So, game 1 of the totals out with everything going on their home court. ECU took care of George Mason. Not a big surprise there. And then ECU 82 over South Carolina 79.
Wow,
so
another
ECU,
good game.
Another team that 2-time national champion, always a good team there. So they head to the national championship. In the Great Lakes, Ohio State's hosting. They take care of Central Michigan. Michigan, number 1 in the North, takes care of Wittenberg. No surprises there. But in the title game, the regional title game, at Ohio State, Michigan 65, Ohio State 64 on a buzzer beater. Got to see some video, someone's video phone footage of it. So, exciting, last second heroics for Michigan, gets them into the national championship, and, steals the regional title away from Ohio State. Mid-America, SIUE, who was, I think, ranked number 2 at the time in the country, they're hosting. Purdue, second-place team in the East, comes in, knocks them off on their home court. Indiana takes care of Iowa State, not a surprise there. And then Indiana versus Purdue for the title game. They're both in the same conference. Indiana 76, Purdue 71. Indiana's going to the national title in their home state. And then lastly, out in the SoPac, Grand Canyon's hosting. Arizona State beats Cal Poly. Then Arizona State upsets Grand Canyon on their home court, 67-61. Grand Canyon had taken 2 of 3 from Arizona State in the regular season to get the right to host, to win that conference, to earn the right to host the regional. Arizona State was the at-large bid to that regional playoff. That upset got them to their first national championship too. So,
question.
Yes.
And we're going to talk national championship. Ohio State, they lost in the regional championship. How did they punch their ticket to the World Series, the national championship?
We have one. This past year, we had 1 at-large bid to the national championship. Previously, we had 6 regions, so we had 2 at-large bids. This year, we had 7 regions, 1 at-large bid. Next year, I foresee we're going to have 8 regions. There will be no at-large bids to the national championship. So the committee got together after the regional weekend was over and analyzed the teams that did well and came to a pretty that it was Ohio State. It was kind of a runaway. It wasn't unanimous, but I'd say 90% of the voters wanted Ohio State. Thought Ohio State deserved it. So, and
smart. They're smart.
As we'll soon get to, we'll find out it was the wise choice. So, what else do you want to know about? Ask me another question.
I want to know. You're putting me on the spot. I mean, skills competition. Let's talk about that at the national championship.
I'd say another successful event we had with it. We had the 3-point shooting. We had Jeb Helmers from Princeton, who had made off in the tournament earlier the day before by just going off against Harvard. in Princeton's opening round loss, 89-90. Harvard.
That was a great game.
I have that circled as the best game of the tournament, and I'd say it was a better game than the Harvard-Michigan overtime game. But that was a tremendous ball game. Jeb made a name for himself throughout the whole state of Indiana with his performance. Then he came out and backed it up in the three-point contest on Saturday for the skills competition and took home that hardware.
At one point, he did go 5 for 5 at the racks.
Oh, did he?
I believe he did. Yeah.
So I don't have the stat.
Yeah, but I remember that he was boom, 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 boom. I mean, he was quick. He was a heck of a ball player.
And then we had in the obstacle course, we had the guys. It's a layup. It's a speed dribble through cones. It's a hit a 3-pointer. It's a 2-ball dribble. Then finish up with a foul shot. It's a timed event. From Arizona State took home that title, and took some hardware home for the Sun Devils.
Yep.
And then in the slam dunk competition, we had ECU. It was pretty impressive between ECU, Dakota King, and Malik Sammons from Ohio State, both flying high over the rim, and Dakota took home the hardware for ECU. So one of the things that I thought pretty interesting, the three teams that basically exited, or 3 of the 4 teams that exited early from the tournament took home the hardware in the skills competition. We had the All-Star game, and
that went.
Yeah. The All-Star game went on, and again ECU took home the MVP from the All-Star game. Drawing a blank at the moment.
I forget his name too. I know what he looks like.
He deserves the credit.
Yeah, he played it.
We named to say on the air for all these people to hear. All right, we're gonna
Brown? Something Brown?
No. I just typed his name into the website because I was updating the national championship page. All right, we'll get that to you soon. Here quickly. So again, skills competition, All-Star game went off. The guys participating seemed to have a great time. One of the things that's kind of fun about those events is because it's not, while it's a competition, it's not cutthroat. So you get everybody's hyped up for everybody in the gym, everybody there is cheering for the guy who's up at that moment. Nobody's rooting for anybody to shot or anything like that. Marcus Hicks, that's right, Marcus Hicks. Impressive performance during the All-Star game. Nobody put out as much effort as he did, so it was impressive. Him working the glass and scoring and playing both ends of the court. So he well-earned MVP for Marcus. So
let's get into the actual national championship. I mean, it was an awesome event, like you said. Opening round games, Princeton Harvard was awesome. Really back and forth there, and we had an OT game. So let's dive into those games.
Well, opening round game of the tournament, Princeton Harvard Open was going to set the tone. We had this tremendous, we called it the Battle of the Ivy League. Princeton versus Harvard in the opening game of the tournament, 90-89. Harvard takes down Princeton. Unbelievable basketball game. We move on to ECU, Indiana. ECU is kind of the heavy favorite. Indiana, while they're the home, kind of the home team being in. ECU's this, 2-time national champion, and Indiana I would circle that as the biggest upset of the tournament. Indiana played phenomenal. After watching them play that game, I thought that's a team that's going to win the national title. Yeah. The way they played against ECU was spectacular. The passing, crispness. They really had it together and knocked off ECU. Game 3, Ohio State, Arizona State. Ohio State took down Arizona State 91-81. Not too much of a struggle for Ohio State. Arizona State kind of had a thin bench, and I think that kind of wore. That Princeton-Harvard game, I'll tell you what, there was a big moment in that game. R.J. Hernandez, president, coach, captain of Princeton, fouled out late in the game, and I think that was kind of the pivotal moment. I'm gonna say took the wind their big man away from them, and they needed him in order to really have a better shot to beat Harvard. So that was a big moment in that game. And then the night game, Michigan #1 seed 86, Ithaca 55, kind of a typical 1-8 matchup. Moving on to round 2, we had the second Indiana. I'm thinking this is going to be a great ball game because of how good Indiana looked Friday. Ohio State came out 102-85 over Indiana. Indiana just didn't have the performance that they put on Friday, which was unfortunate for the Hoosiers for their season to end the way it did. But I mean, they had a great season, great run. But then the night game in round 2 on Saturday, Harvard 78, Michigan 75 in overtime. Another good ball game. Just, Harvard's such a scrappy team.
Yeah, what I liked about Harvard was I don't know if they started off slow, but they would get in these situations where they'd be down 8-10 points in the first half, and you'd kind of count them out. And they weren't a running gun team. They never got, anxious and were firing up threes and taking bad shots. They always kind of just stuck to their game plan. Was really patient. Just, get 2 points at a time, play tough defense, get another 2 points, which really impressed me because they didn't have any huge standout star performers. It was more of a team game for Harvard, and it seemed like every game they were down 8-10 points, and they would just chip away, which I was really impressed with.
And one of the things, you talk about Harvard getting flustered by a deficit. I believe it was late in the first half. I think Michigan was up by almost 15.
Yep.
To the point where Ohio State sitting in the stands, watching the game, kind of doing a little scouting because they know they're in the title game the next day. And they got up there like, all right, well, Michigan's got this. We know Michigan. We've seen Michigan. We're against Michigan tomorrow night. So Ohio State packs up and goes back to the hotel. And sure enough, Harvard chips away, gets it, forces overtime, and then wins it in overtime to take it to the national title game. So really impressive. Great run by Michigan, great performance. Just got beat a little bit by Harvard. So we end up with Harvard versus Ohio State in the national championship game, and Ohio State takes it 80-70 over Harvard. Again, Harvard down early, big, comes back, ties it. Down a little bit, comes back, makes it close, makes it a ball game, and just Ohio State, I think, was too deep.
Yeah, it was. They were a team that was. They also, I wouldn't say had huge stars, but they had Grayson Ball, who was a power forward that would score his points, and then Nick Machete, who had a great stroke, could hit the three, and then a great point guard in Antonio. Just had a really just top to bottom a solid core 5 on the court at all times, and I think just really.
And I think Ohio State had a lot of depth. Like they had, you talk about Ball and Machete. Both of them are kind of big guys.
Yep.
Machete kind of plays like he goes underneath. You also have Marquise Gaines, tall guy that can rebound.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Where I think some of the other teams didn't have that depth. Like they had one big guy where if that guy was out, they were missing that piece of the puzzle from their game at the moment. So kudos to Ohio State winning their first national championship, and Machete taking for his performance. It was clutch. I was calculating his stats when I was plugging some stuff in for the MVP, to get it out on the website. He didn't miss a free throw.
Really? And that was
in the whole tournament.
Well, that's
the championship game.
I didn't know that. But I feel like a lot of teams at the foul line. I was actually surprised at how bad the percentage was from the foul. I don't know what the percentage was, but it seemed like a lot of guys were missing the free throws. So that's a crazy stat because it wasn't teams weren't prolific from the foul line. That's for sure this weekend or that weekend.
That's how we got to Ohio State national champions. Kind of redeemed themselves from. Last year they made an early exit. 2 years ago they lost the national title game to ECU in overtime. So I think it felt bittersweet, especially some of the older guys on the team, and it felt like they got their kind of like their revenge and to go out with a title. And some of the good things I heard from some of the players at the event was they were like, oh wow, this is a lot more serious than we anticipated. You guys put a lot into this, with the locker rooms and press conferences and even the player every game, just to make sure everything's always on the up and up.
Yep.
We don't want anyone questioning like, oh, they won that tournament, and we don't really know who that guy is.
It looks
there.
Like Michael Jordan, but
yeah. So I think the teams, from what they were telling me, they were because we had a lot of 6 of the 8 teams had never been to our national championship. One of them was there last year, which was Ohio State. So it was a first-time experience for a lot, and I think they all left with that taste in their mouth of like, ooh, we got to get to this every year.
Yeah.
So
well, cool. Well, let's talk to Grayson. We'll get Grayson Ball from Ohio State on the event. Again, Ohio State winning their first NCBBA national championship over Harvard, and was a final score 80-70. I feel like it was a closer game than that, but we'll get him on to talk.
Grayson, welcome to Suite 301.
How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Great, man.
How's it feel to wake up a national champion?
Oh, it feels good. It feels great.
I was just talking to Christian a little bit about how, what an experience for Ohio State to sort of make amends over the early exit last year and the loss in the national 2 years ago. You're a veteran of that team. You've been there. You've experienced it. Can you take us through what it felt like to and I believe you're a senior, right? You're graduating?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so to basically be able to go out on top. How's that feel?
It feels about that time season long about how 2 years ago going out in the national championship in overtime, that one stuck with us. But a lot of guys that were on that team, basically all of them, maybe except one or two, they've all graduated, moved on, and everything. So I wanted to at least talk to the younger guys myself to go out last year. A couple more of them got to see how it feels to go out early, which was also a rough feeling. But to go out on top this year after a couple disappointments in the past, it couldn't feel better.
And speaking, kind of touching on that again, guys made the national championship 2 years ago, and then you have an early exit last year. This year at regionals, you guys lose to Michigan at regionals. What was the feeling like after that loss? Did you guys think that was, kind of the end of it, or were you hoping that call? What were your feelings after that game?
Right, that was a big disappointment. We knew we had played one of our worst games all year long. We didn't do the little things that we normally do to win games that should have won us that game. We just didn't take care of business, and we just ended up playing way too close to the game, and disappointed to say the least. But we immediately moved on and started thinking about the at-large bid, thinking, we should have won this game, so hopefully we deserve that at-large bid. And luckily we ended up getting it. The committee agreed with what we were thinking, and they gave us a shot. And I think we proved that we won it all. We were thankful for the opportunity. We were just thankful to be there and to come and play against really good teams. Michigan was really good too. I guess it was their first year having a club team. I haven't seen them before, but they were a great team, and we were kind of thinking we'd like to see them again, and that wasn't how it worked out. And we took care of business, and we were just thankful to be there.
Grayson, if you could comment on Harvard. I mean, Christian and I were talking about what a gritty team they are. Not necessarily a team with superstars on it, but a team that doesn't get flustered. When another team goes on a run against them, they fall behind. They just, stay to their game and try to win the next 5 out of the next 4 points. They did that against Michigan. They were down huge early to Michigan. I think you guys were in the stands watching, and it kind of looked like, we got Michigan tomorrow night, and then you wake up on the schedule. What was your impression of Harvard's performance out there?
Oh, yeah, what you just said was exactly right. I'd already told a couple friends that texted me from the year before on prior teams that we were probably going to end up playing Michigan in the final, because we had seen the beginning of that last game, and Michigan looked like, but I ended up getting on Twitter later and seeing the end of the game on the live stream and seeing that Harvard had come back and won. And we knew right then, we knew Michigan was a good team. They'd already beat us in the regional. So we knew if Harvard could come back and beat a team like that, they must have some good players and some mentions. But they really did. They played hard from the tip. They came out a little bit faster than us, honestly. It looked like they wanted it more at the beginning. But that was just really a team that didn't give up, that played their game. We couldn't really – eventually we kind of got them to play our game a little bit more, but it was hard to get them out of the group. We just stuck with
talk about we discussed a little bit earlier how you guys just top to bottom, even very talent. I mean, yourself, Nick Machete, Antonio Atria, Marquise Gaines. Are a lot of these guys, have they been on the team for several years? Any new additions? Just talk about your team as a whole and just how talented you guys really are.
Oh, yeah, we have unbelievable talent. I always some of the best fun. I mean, these guys are great. We had a good mix of younger and older talent. I was actually the only guy that's been here for all 4 years. So I've seen it all. I've seen a lot come and go. But we had a couple guys. We had Marquise, Antonio, not here for 4 years, but we also have other guys like Trevor Neat, Steve Pennington, some of these younger guys, Jansen Davidson, Derek Toffee, several of them. I can't really mention all of them, but these guys just come in here and compete. Jordan was another one that came in, and they just compete from beginning to end. And they really added a lot to the team this year. We had the few key pieces returning, and the young talent was just unbelievable. You see new guys like Malik. Malik just joined the team. He had a great weekend for us, and having guys like Nick and Marquise come back and have them there and have the experience and everything was helpful. I think we really meshed well with the young guys, but honestly, the young guys really didn't need that much help or that much guidance. I mean, these guys, they play as hard as anybody, and honestly, I think we have the best talent of anybody in the country right now. I think it works perfectly, and luckily we ended up out on top.
Now, so you returned to Columbus as a national champion. You got the big trophy. You got the the T-shirt swag to sport around campus, and you got the banner to hang. How is that to your band?
Oh, it's been great. Of course, everybody especially our girls club team, who's also very good. They're ready to come celebrate with us. We've had a ton of people reaching out to us, ready to go out and have a good time last weekend. And we had a couple of the local Columbus publications that even before we even got back from South Bend, 11 Warriors had already written an article, and a ton of people were tweeting and retweeting it, hundreds and hundreds of retweets and favorites and stuff, and it really cracked us up. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Columbus was great sports history here. I mean, they took to it as well, and we were so thankful for all the people that reached out to us. It's been amazing.
Yeah. On an interesting note, site publication. My phone, after you won, my phone started going off the hook on Sunday night, Monday morning with a number of my old friends through club baseball and so forth that are Ohio State grads or Ohio State fans and things like that I guess subscribed to that publication, and all of a sudden they start getting pings on their phones that wins national title. There's your picture. There's Machete. I happen to be in a picture with Machete handing him the MVP trophy, and then my phone's blowing up because everybody knew so quick. It semi went viral because of the support you guys get. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, they put out the news so quick. Teammates from all over the place reaching out, and it was an experience like I've never had, and it was really nice. And I think it's something that I won't forget, and these young guys won't forget. And hopefully, I can do more of that in the future.
Well, I think you've done. I think we got one more question to ask you before we let you go. And I heard some of your teammates asking, wondering about this. So how many cans of ginger ale can you fit in the trophy?
Honestly, I was out of town last weekend, so I can't attest to that. So that's I'll be back in a couple days, and I'll let you know on that.
All right, sounds good. All right, Grayson, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations to you and the rest of the Buckeyes. And congratulations on your upcoming graduation, and best of luck to you.
All right, thank y'all so much.
All right, man. Bye.
It's a good basketball name.
It is. It's a good. Yes, it is. It's a good name for any sport that involves something round that bounces or you hit it or throw it or swing at it.
Anyway, hats off to them.
Yep. Congrats to the Buckeyes. So let's finish touches on the 2018 season. We're working on all region teams right now, getting those released hopefully by the end of this week, and then the All-American team will get announced next week. Next week we've got the annual league meeting next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time right here on Facebook Live. So that's always a great meeting. Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. 5th.
Like a week from today?
A week from tomorrow.
Okay.
At 7 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live. It's a great meeting for teams, new incoming officers, new teams that are coming on board, teams that are thinking about coming on board that want to know what's up. It's a great opportunity to chime in. We're going to propose some changes moving forward into the future, some rule changes, things like that. And we always look for teams to chime in and give us their suggestions as well. So that's the best, in our opinion, that's the best way to make a league that makes our members happy is to, weigh their input in, let them vote on changes. And
well, congrats on a successful basketball season. Anything else happening?
I think that's it. I mean, we've already added 5 new teams for next year.
Okay, cool.
For those that aren't aware, last year we were at 76 teams. This year we were up to 101. The goal is 125 for tip of the 18-19 season. We've already probably 30 teams that I'm already in communication with that are very interested in coming on. Dang. So,
well, good.
I think the 125 mark, if I work hard, is attainable. So,
well, we know you do that. So, if there's nothing else, I believe we are going to take and we will be back to talk.
Bring me off a piece of that Kit
Kat bar. Some NCFA football.
Fundraiser is the official fundraising platform of Cole Club Sports. Teams have the opportunity to create a free online campaign to begin accepting donations in hopes of reaching their fundraising goals. Please be sure to contact Cole Club Sports for more information on this amazing platform for all of your team's fundraising needs.
Motel 6 is the proud lodging partner of Cole Club Sports. All teams, players, and fans receive 10% off the best available nightly rate. For more information on how to book your rooms, contact Alex Kane today. alex.kane@coleclubsports.com.
All right, welcome back to Sweet 301. We're going to enter into the NCFA portion of the show, which is not going to take us very long because, hey, it's the off season. Everybody's just looking at the NFL draft and whether or not Saquon's going number 1 overall or not. But anyway, so NCFA-wise, if you're tuned in, talking about club football, really the thing to do now is do your conference coordinator on the website. NCFA's busy right now getting all the getting organized with the bowl game, getting the playoff site set up, getting the regional or the conference championship site set up. So that's what we're doing behind the scenes. Hopefully in the next 2 months, next month is all have some more important dates for with football. So that's really it on the NCFA side. Get your non-conference schedules to your coordinators.
Well, guess what, guys? Unfortunately, that's our show for this month. Hair in my mouth. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Sweet 301.
15th, 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. I hope you'll join us and catch up with everything going on around Cole Club Sports. We'll have lots of updates with postseason baseball and softball to talk about. So, hey, and don't forget, it's a game. Have fun.
Did it